Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. A little bit of Dynasty talk, a little bit of rookie talk tonight. Friday night, that's where you get our best content. Craft, man, what's going on, man?
Let's go ahead and set the stage. It's motherfucking Friday night.
Yeah,
let's get it. We talk about them rookies tonight. We got the boy Chris on with us. What's going on with you?
Not much. Same thing. I ain't drinking though, but I'm smoking like a motherfucker.
Drinking, smoking. I got me a beer. Craft got him some Grey Goose. Chris got him an eighth. So we rolling tonight. But hey, I say this every time we hop on these end of the week episodes. This is where you get our best content. Like in the middle of the week, me and Craft were breaking down and recapping. We got to do that. We owe that to y'all. But at the end, man, this is where we get some better topics out there. You get our best content. You get we've been working hard all week, not just the podcast, but working. So then we get to kick back and relax, crack open a couple beers, and this is where you get the best stuff right here. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Trey came up to me yesterday and said, "I love y'all's Friday night episodes. Those are the best ones." And I was like, I feel like those are the ones we had the most fun on. We have a damn blast, but
yeah,
I said, I just hope folks don't get offended because we don't really give a shit. So, whatever comes out of our mouth on Friday night. But
look, man, I listened to that last episode right before I went in to vote, and I was thinking we crazy for that last episode we dropped out there. I was thinking maybe I should tone it back, but then I was like, well, we on brand. This is just what we do. Like when we put the podcast out here, this is what you get. You get the authentic us. This is authentic right here. You ain't gonna get none of that other stuff. But we ain't even gonna get into that today because tonight we talking rookies. And we're about what in the NFL season? We're probably a little over the halfway mark, going into week 10. So let's break down some of these rookies. Rookie draft done went. I had a rookie draft this past year. So we'll talk about some of these guys because I think here in a couple weeks, Thanksgiving time, I'm going to try my best to get my cousin, and we're going to talk about these 2023 guys coming up. We'll see if I can get that rolling around Thanksgiving time or not, though. We'll see. But in the meantime, we need to talk about these 2022 guys because after the night, we probably ain't going to talk about these guys as a group that much, I feel like. So we'll just break it down the best we can.
Hell yeah. That 2023 draft, that's going to be fun too. We got all these talking about these rookies coming in, and the quarterbacks really, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, I ain't really been all that impressed by either one of them this year. And like, what's your boy from Tennessee?
Was it Hooker? Hendon Hooker.
Yeah. I always want to say Hassan Haskins for some reason when I think of him, but it's
yeah. Yeah, look, I'm with you, Kraft. I know
How was Will Levis? I saw him get carted off. What was the injury? What happened? Is he done?
I don't know, Chris, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell the world now. That dude, he's trash, man. I've been watching these guys, and there's clearly a top two, I would say, and that's Stroud and Bryce Young.
Yeah,
I'm not even that impressed with Stroud right now, but I mean, he puts up big numbers. But every time I watch him play, the dude's struggling with a Northwestern and doing all kinds of stuff. But I'll put it like this: there's a clear top two. Then I would throw Hendon Hooker there. But when I see mock drafts, I've seen Will Levis going in the top two, and I'm like, that's a damn shame.
I've seen that too.
I don't know who the hell come up with that.
I was just thinking, man, David Tepper. I don't know. We got like 4 potential quarterbacks that the Panthers could probably pick if they draft one this year, and I feel like he's gonna fuck up on which one he's gonna draft, and we're gonna be even worse next year. I just feel like that's what it's gonna be.
So, like, I've hearing this class is stacked at running back, stacked at wide receiver. And look, before we talk about these 22 guys, I got to say something. I don't buy into narratives like, like before this 2022 rookie draft, they was talking about this class ain't that good and this class ain't that deep. Y'all just look, man, all classes got their players. I heard the class of 23, everybody's like, this class is stacked. Kraft, I don't know if we're in a league with that Mudbutt guy. I don't know if Mudbutt said it to me or to everybody. He was like, this is the most stacked draft class in a quarter of a century. Like, I'm not buying into stuff like that. I don't.
I've barely been alive for a quarter of a century, man. How's he? How is it? How old is Mudbutt, man? Is he like 75, bro? He's like, this draft class right here is the best since I've been born. Back in World War II days.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying now. I just don't buy into that kind of talk. Like all these classes have good players, and some are deeper at certain positions or whatnot. But it is what it is. But look, let's just get through it right here. Right now, I'm looking at my league, the home league, the Cruise Dynasty the Cruise Dynasty League. With Chris Shire, he's in that league. We had a little rookie draft. This is a 10-man PPR league. So, but heck, I was deep in this thing. I can go through the ins and out in this draft, I feel like.
I didn't even have a pick.
Yeah.
I just watched. Is everybody else?
Yeah, I had a second round and a third round. And, but yeah, I mean, heck, how should we do it? Should we just do a little mock draft ourselves, or we should break it down? How should we do it, Chris?
Shoot, I think that we could do that. We could go, how do y'all want to do, like, who goes at what pick? Because, I mean, if all of us are looking at it right there, we could do that.
Kraft has him a list up.
Yep. Kraft, I guess we'll just remock it. Remock it.
Remock it then. Kraft, you go first. I'll go second. Chris, you go third. Or nah, how about this? I'll go third. One of y'all two go. Or Chris, you go ahead and go then. Fuck it. You're number one.
All right. I'm still going with Brees, even though he got injured at number one.
Okay. I'm with you 1,000%. Brees Hall coming into this draft, clear 101 in my opinion. This was like, if you're at the 101 and you're picking somebody else, you are a clown. That's how I viewed it before the season. I still view it now, although I will say, I feel like people like me and Kraft might be a lot higher on people like Kenneth Walker than other people out there are. I think Kenneth Walker is pretty good. But yeah, Brees Hall at the 101. Kraft, you got any arguments with that?
Not really. I mean, me personally, I'd have gone with Kenneth Walker, but knowing what we know now.
At the beginning of the year, though, would you have gone Brees Hall over Kenneth Walker at the beginning?
Yeah, the very beginning, I'd have definitely gone Brees Hall over Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
Are we drafting this thing like what we know now, or are we drafting it like if we were drafting it now?
We'll go with what we know now, but I might ask you at the beginning, what would you have done type deal, stuff like that. But yeah, so right now, though, you would go Kenneth Walker over Brees Hall? I guess, is that just injury related or?
Well, half injury related and half the Seattle Seahawks are a lot better than I thought they were going to be to start this year. Because, I mean, the Jets, they do look better too. So no hating on the Jets, but Seattle surprised the hell out of me. And it looks like they're here to stay. I mean, they're young. It's not like they're winning this year with their veterans. They drafted, I mean, they got more rookies on defense than anybody. They're just a good overall young team.
Yeah.
So
agree.
I would go Kenny Walker.
All right, so we got a little bit of debate at the 101. Kraft, you had the second pick, so I assume you would go with Kenneth Walker, right?
No. I'm going Walker Texas Ranger over here.
Yep. All right, well, shoot, I'm with you on that. And listen, Kenneth Walker, there was like some narratives before the year they were talking about, oh, well, he don't catch the ball and he's not, I don't know. To me, it was like, how could you even buy into that? Like, he was at Michigan State. They just didn't throw to the running back. Like, they run a little bit more of a pro-style offense up there. Big Ten football, they ain't exactly bringing out the nuances out there in the offensive land. So they're not throwing to their running backs as much. Kenneth Walker, though, man, I'm sitting here saying it now, Kraft. I think there's a debate for him for a dynasty ranking to be in the top 5. And if he ain't in that little tier 1, he's definitely at the top of tier 2, I would say. He's the lead back in a run-heavy offense. and he's just good.
We're gonna have to do our dynasty rankings later, but he's top 3 for me. I mean,
Yeah.
they're the ones that we had ranked up at the top this year have kind of fallen off. Like Najee and DeAndre Swift. I mean, I don't know if y'all are as tired of DeAndre Swift as I am, but are y'all a little bit wore out on the injuries and everything, or y'all still got Swift like way up there in the top 5?
Chris?
Shoot, man, it's hard, especially with, DeAndre Swift. I feel like I ain't never seen this dude play more than 3 games in a row without getting hurt. But
Yeah.
he's man, PPR league though, it's still hard not to have him because he does so much in the backfield. He catches the ball, runs the ball, but this year what's hampering him? I mean, shit. You ain't getting the fantasy production because Jamal Williams is the one getting all the scoring. And I don't know about y'all, but I would like my running back to get a touchdown every once in a while, especially to win a matchup.
Yeah, look, I'm with you, and I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm totally off of DeAndre Swift. He's in his second year, right? Or what? How
Third
old?
year.
He's in his
Third
third
year,
year. Whew. I don't know, man. It just comes to a point in time where it's just like you can't just keep. But the thing is, I even saw a dynasty ranking today. The dude was still top 4 in there, so it's still the guy's still young. What makes him so good is he can catch the ball a lot. But like I play, the thing is I would say I'm tired of DeAndre Swift. But listen, all year I've been playing DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams in the same lineup all the whole way. So it's like I ain't really been getting it bit in the butt too much. I'm really kind of against playing players like that on the same running back field at the same time. But Swift, like I played him the other day, 2 weeks ago, he had 15 points on 5 touches. So it's like the dude's good, man. The dude can play. But when we come into dynasty rankings this next go round, people like Kenneth Walker, they're gonna be for sure shooting up ahead of DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift when we're talking about age. Kenneth Walker, I mean, it's only been 1 year. All we was really waiting was for Rashad Penny to drop down because I knew he was gonna get hurt eventually. So that's all we was waiting for him to clear the path for Kenneth Walker. But yeah, I'm with you. Kenneth Walker, top 3. I don't think that's crazy to say at all.
Nah, I mean, we're living in the moment, but I'm talking about going back to Swift too. He's played 13 games both years, 2020 and 2021. So it's not like he's missing a whole year or anything, but it just seems like we've said it before. He's following that Dalvin Cook path where it's just, you're going to miss like 3 or 4 games a year.
I mean, I swear, he's just a spitting image of Dalvin Cook, man. If you got them both on your team, it's like there might be weeks might not have both of them guys.
Yeah. And JT, we forgot about JT. I mean, if he drops out of the top 3, Kenneth Walker jumps in. With the Colts looking the way they do, is JT a top 3 dynasty running back? Chris?
I don't know. Because this year I ain't seeing it. He does not look like the same running back that he did last year. He's had a few glimpses of it, but it just ain't been there. I don't know if that's coming down with the O line. They need to make changes or anything like that. But they just benched Matt Ryan, got a 6th-round quarterback out there. It's gonna take some time, but Jonathan Taylor, as explosive as he was last year, he needs to step it up. Otherwise, I definitely agree with Kenneth Walker getting in there over him.
Look, Crab, I'm gonna say this. I think for sure we might have to bump Jonathan Taylor down from 1, but I don't know if I could just take him out of a top tier yet. I know he's having one bad year, but his age, I know he's still a good football player. It's really just the Colts. I don't know, man. I used to think the Colts were buttoned up, but now the Colts just haven't been buttoned up. They keep going the old quarterback trend and stuff like that. They need to get somebody to, Andrew Luck leaving was just a blow. I'll just put it like that. But
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he's clearly dropping in my rankings, but I can't drop him too far just yet, man.
Yeah, we might know more by the end of the year, but shoot, this is the last running back. We're doing the rookie show, but I really want to ask y'all about this one because I think people kind of forgot about him. Y'all got Brees Hall probably in the top 3, but what about Javonte? Javonte and Brees Hall both got torn ACLs just a couple weeks apart. They'll probably be back around the same time. Is Javonte falling off way behind Brees Hall, or is it similar circumstances?
Not
What do
in
you
my
think, Matt?
eyes. I'm just gonna be honest. Not in my eyes. If anything, Javante would be falling off because the Broncos look so bad. But every time I watch Javante, I'm like, dude, this dude is clearly. I mean, I don't even know,
Good.
man. If this dude would have stayed healthy this year, we'd be talking about this dude being the top 2 or 3 guy. Dynasty people in dynasty community already had him in like the top 4 last year. So I'm a Javante Williams guy. He had a bad injury, but these kind of injuries don't really, unless it's an Achilles injury. These days, I ain't really backed off all the way. Obviously, you got to have some time to recover. Like Brees Hall with the ACL, I would still want Brees Hall on my team.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty close, but it's weird to say, but I think the Jets look better than the Broncos.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's just move on, man. We talked about the top 2 running backs, which I'm glad we did because they the best. All right, so there's a reason why I wanted to go third. Top 2 are pretty obvious to me. All right, but this is how I see it. In the Cruise Dynasty in the league with the Get Fellas, um, Akil went Drake London, and listen, at the beginning of the year, when we were doing this rookie draft, I would have for sure went Drake London. I think before these players got set on the NFL teams before Drake London went to the Falcons, Garrett Wilson to the Jets. I think Garrett Wilson would have been the first wide receiver off the board. I would have went Drake London because he has not really that much competition. But if we're doing it right now, from what I know now, at the 103, I'm taking Chris Olave. This dude, Chris Olave, man, way underdrafted in this rookie draft, man. This dude was, if well, I put it like this, in the rookie draft, this dude was seen as a tier behind Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, even Jameson Williams, who had just got hurt. People were taking him over Chris Olave. Man, Chris Olave, if he comes out a year before, this dude's like the first or second wide receiver off the board. So I don't know, man. Watching him play this year, I'm like, man, this dude's the best route runner. He's in New Orleans. It's not like he's sitting here playing with these super good quarterbacks and stuff like that. I mean, he's playing with famous Jameis and Andy Dalton. So Chris Olave at the 103, I feel like since he's doing good with these guys, it's like I feel like he could do good with just about, I ain't gonna say any quarterback, but it's like New Orleans is probably gonna, Chris said it a few episodes that he thinks Andy Dalton might be sticking around for a little while. Um, they could possibly bring in a quarterback eventually. So it's like, I don't know, man. Chris Olave at the 103, I feel like it's like a safe pick, but I also feel like the upside is higher than what people expected too. What you say, Kraft?
The only thing I can't answer about New Orleans really is I want y'all's opinion on it is New Orleans at the end of this year, say they finish, I don't know, 7-10. So they finish 7-10. Are they sellers or are they buyers?
I think
I can't
knowing
figure it out.
I think knowing New Orleans, they're probably buying.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
kind of agree with that, but there was a lot of there was a lot of talks about moving Kamara, so I want to see what happens over the offseason with that for sure.
True.
yeah.
Because I mean, Kamara, I mean, what he'll be 28 going into next season. So I mean, he's still got a few good years left, especially with the kind of how he plays. I don't know. They could be in a position to sell.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Yeah, Chris bringing that up. I forgot about that. There was a lot of rumors of Kamara leaving,
He
especially
was
going
going to
to
go to
Philly.
Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude goes to Philly. Philly's going for it all. So it's like, but yeah, I'm with you though. So yeah, that's just a tough one. Still though, I mean, Chris Olave, I don't know, man. I feel like just knowing what I know now, seeing him this year with these guys now. Man, I would still feel comfortable taking Chris Olave, even with some uncertainty going into next season and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with the pick. I would probably gone that too because I like them receivers when every time you see them catch the ball, there's not a defender nowhere around them because they done broke, their ankles are somewhere on the field. But like, I mean, he seems like the best route runner. They said he was coming out of college, and I mean, damn, he's impressive. So I
Yeah.
think he's the best receiver in this class. Maybe not physical talent, but as far as route running goes, and New Orleans is a good franchise. So I just don't know what the future really holds for New Orleans. You know, you got Michael Thomas. He's old. He's probably gone. Jarvis Landry. The quarterbacks are both kind of bridge quarterbacks, and the defense is still good. So they're one of them teams I just can't. They could
Yeah.
go either direction. They could go buy next year, which would be great for him, or they could sell. So it's gonna be kind of tough.
Right.
But I'd still probably take him. I got my pick. But Chris is gonna go ahead. It's his turn. But I think the guy I'm gonna take, I probably might would have took over Olave. What you got, Chris?
Let's see. After what I know now, instead, I may take Damian Pierce with that
Damn it.
next pick
Damn it.
because this dude is going off.
Yeah.
I mean, he right now in PPR, he's the number 14 running back on the year playing for the Texans. And then he has no backfield competition whatsoever. Rex Burkhead, I mean, he's on the out. They got Ogwan Bwale back there. He don't ever see the field. I mean, this is a young team, young guy, and I'm taking him over Drake London or picking any of these other receivers. Jamison Williams, you know, even he got drafted this year. It's like Matt was saying in the other episode. I think this is a red shirt year. We ain't gonna see any Jamison Williams until next year.
Yeah.
So Garrett Wilson, I'm not sold on Zach Wilson. I'm not. If Flacco is back there, I mean, fantasy wise, I think Flacco should be back there. Yeah, Zach Wilson's your franchise quarterback, but
Yeah.
that's why I just can't justify taking Garrett Wilson or anybody else above him. Drake London, you could argue, but again, it's the quarterback situation. I want to see where they're going with that. I know they brought in Ritter, but Atlanta has been one of them organizations that they draft these rookies, but they don't let them play. They don't play
Yeah.
them at all until they're forced to. So yeah, I'm going with Damian Pierce. What is that? The fourth, the 104 is what we're
Yeah.
taking him off as.
104. Go ahead, Cry.
He just stole my damn pick. I mean, it's all good. Damian Pierce is Ian said it on that one episode me and him did together. He thinks Damian Pierce for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year
I could see
so
that.
far.
Man, he's
It's
good.
either him or Walker. It's gonna be close.
Yeah. Look, fellas, Chris, I'm with you on that pick, Damian Pierce. And this rookie draft right here, I was all over Damian Pierce. I took him at the
You took him at
203.
The 203 is where you got Damian Pierce.
And look, and a 12-man league, that's really the 201. So
Yeah.
what's and I'm talking about I reached like a motherfucker to go get Damian Pierce. I went up there and got his ass. I knew it. I was paying attention to these running back rooms, like who was going to Atlanta, who was going to Houston. Seemed like there was a couple more out there. Damian Pierce, listen, man, he was at Florida. Dan Mullen was the coach at the time. They just didn't use this guy, man. This dude, Damian Pierce, could play, man. I'm telling you. And I know I was talking to some of the guys, you know, old Dunk. I don't even know if he remembers making this statement, but he was like, I don't like the tape. I was like, what tape? The dude was barely getting used up there in Florida. This dude could play. This dude is good. He was clearly going to be the best back in Houston. I'm with you, though, Chris. I would have taken him too. I mean, I feel like that's a good pick.
Yeah, knowing what you know now, I
Yeah.
feel like there's just no question to me.
I reached at the time grabbing him. So it was like that was a super reach. And now taking him at the 104, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more though.
Yeah, I was that was real close between Olave and Pierce with that 3 and 4 right there. But shit, Pierce threw 8 games, 678 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, NFL they play 17 games. He's on pace for like 1,400 yards this year.
Yeah.
And however many touchdowns you want to add up, probably about 7 touchdowns. That's steady as hell, if you ask me. That's like a borderline RB1 status.
Right.
With the Texans, who everybody knows that's all they can do is run the ball, and they still do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's good, man. He looks good. Just use the eye test on Damian Pierce. That's
Oh
all you
yeah.
need to know. That dude can. I think I seen a stat. He was like at the time when they put that stat out, he was leading the league in uh breaking tackles and shit like that. So this dude's good. Hopefully, the Texans just step it up and give him some more scoring opportunities and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm with you. I like Damian Pierce. And let me ask you this though. I think he was drafted in the fourth round. That don't scare y'all off, does it? That maybe they'll replace him like they did with Michael Carter with the Jets. That don't scare you off?
No.
No, not at all. The only reason he was drafted in the fourth round is like we talked about, he didn't have much tape.
It didn't worry with me, to be honest with you, with Michael Carter. It didn't worry with me with Michael Carter because in college, he ran a timeshare with Javonte Williams
Yeah,
and still had over 1,000 yards.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
feel I feel like them later round running backs that get drafted late, sometimes because of their like physical attributes and their combine and stuff. But Pierce got drafted late because he didn't have the tape. He
yeah,
has all the speed and agility and shit. It's kind of like Isaiah Pacheco in Kansas City. He got drafted late because you know, nobody really knew about him. But as far as his combine and shit went,
yeah.
he's fast as hell. He's big as hell. And if they start performing on the field, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess not too many scouts watching Rutgers football, I guess.
No,
But yeah, man. And before we move on to Kraft's next pick, Damian Pierce was pretty much going in third rounds of rookie drafts, pretty much. So yeah, man. Just if you're paying attention to these rookies, and this is what I say, like when we start talking about rookie drafts later on, if you like your guy, if you like the guy, go get your guy in these rookie drafts. That's how I feel about it. Kraft at the 105, let's go.
105. I'm gonna go with based on the recent transactions of this team. I'm gonna go with George Pickens, number 5. Got rid of Claypool. He's gone. Deontay Johnson's not that much of a threat. He's kind of a little target hog every now and again, but the Steelers draft good receivers year in and year out, and they always pan out. They wouldn't have got rid of Claypool if they didn't think Pickens was something.
Yep.
So just need Kenny Pickett to start performing, or maybe if he doesn't perform, maybe they find somebody that does. But the Steelers are one of the best franchises in NFL history. They have the most Super Bowls in NFL history. I'm gonna go with George Pickens right there. Dog. What y'all think?
Chris?
I'm with it for
Okay.
sure. For me, right there, I was thinking it is a toss up between for me, in London and Pickens. But what would sell me on Pickens is, like you said, they just moved Claypool.
Yeah.
They just got rid of him. And at the beginning of the year, this dude was talking about he was the top 3 wide receiver in the league. I was like, oh my God. They trade this dude, get a second rounder for him. He's out of there. He's only got to deal with Deontay Johnson. Now, they just need to give him the ball. They need to target this man. He needs to be targeted. Big guy. He's got great hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ever since they got put Trubisky on the bench and moved Kenny Pickett in, Kenny Pickett he'll pepper it too, George Pickens. So to me, it just comes to the how Kenny Pickett progresses at this point. Just got to see how he does. And you know what? I have never really been a Kenny Pickett hater or anything. I don't think he's like great or anything, but I think George Pickens will probably do some work. This is rookie year for both of these guys going forward. I'll put it like this: George Pickens. When I was talking about rookie drafts in the summer, George Pickens, guys like Christian Watkins, George Pickens, and Sky Moore, they were going behind guys, all these other guys. But these guys, like those three I just named, they're going to franchises that are stable franchises that are buttoned up for the most part. So it just makes me like George Pickens going with the Steelers. Just like Kraft said, they're always drafting wide receivers. They're always doing good. So I'm with you. George Pickens soaring through the roof. What more to say?
Yep. Yep. I feel good. I feel good about that one. I wish I could have got all Damian Pierce, but y'all left me with a hard choice with them receivers. So I felt like, I'm gonna go with the best team available and go with the history of Mike Tomlin, and they know what they're doing.
All right, so I guess we're back to me at the 106. And at the 106, I'm going to take Garrett Wilson. And I know we had some things to say about pretty much if at the 106 right here, if we're talking about now, it would come between Drake London and Garrett Wilson. And I'm a Falcons fan. Before the season, I would have taken Drake London at the 103 just because he don't really have too much competition at the wide receiver spot. But listen, man, I'm a Falcons fan and I watch these Falcons. And man, it looks like we're gonna go the direction of we're gonna run the football and we're not gonna really I don't really know what we're gonna do at the quarterback spot even next year. I know we got Ritter. I watched Mariota yesterday. I thought about sending a text, Chris, to the fellas. You remember when Jordan was like, Mariota is him, saying all that shit, whatever the fuck that even means.
Oh,
This dude Mariota is a bum.
Yeah.
But I'm not even
Y'all
saying
just lost to
Mariota.
us.
I'm
And
like,
we
dude.
suck.
I'm like, well, I'll put it like this. I'm not gonna say Mariota is a complete bum. He has some rushing upside, and he's a fine quarterback. But if you want production from your wide receivers and stuff like that, Kyle Pitts too, you're not gonna get that from Mariota. I would like to see what we have in Ritter. So yeah, Garrett Wilson, listen, and this is what the reason why I'm even gonna say Garrett Wilson's last two games, because me and Phil, we were talking about him on the phone. Garrett Wilson picked him, Phil picked Garrett Wilson up. Last two games of PPR leagues versus New England and Buffalo, he's got 17 and 16. Week 2, he had a 30-point game. I think Joe Flacco was quarterback in that game. But in the last two games, he's been wide receiver 16, wide receiver 11. Garrett Wilson, to me, before these rookies landed in their spots or whatever, the NFL draft, he was the first rookie going off the board. It was definitely going to be between him and Treylon Burks. There was a lot of Treylon Burks hype. So Garrett Wilson, to me, the talent-wise, is there. He came from Ohio State. If there was any school, because listen, Clemson was the wide receiver U. I can't even defend that shit now. Can't even remotely defend it. If there's a wide receiver U right now, it's got to be Ohio State. These guys are throwing out wide receivers every year. So it's like Garrett Wilson was the most talented one, except for they like to say the guy coming out now, in Jigba, he's the most talented, but he's been hurt all year. Hey, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what I'm saying. And that 24 class is going to be good too, fellas. So it's like, I would have definitely went. I like Garrett Wilson right here. It's like Chris said earlier, though. Man, Zach Wilson, we got to see it from Zach Wilson. Like, I'm not saying Zach Wilson is sorry, and the Jets are daggum, 6-3 or 7-2 or something crazy like that. So it's like they're winning games, but like even Elijah Moore, like Zach Wilson needs to be getting these guys involved. He needs to be supporting more, he needs to be supporting these receivers, is what I'm saying. So Garrett Wilson, it's not really a Garrett Wilson question to me. It's a Zach Wilson question. But heck, the Falcons got hella questions over here. So it's like Garrett Wilson's the guy. Kraft, what you say?
I like that pick right there. I think I'd have done the same. Garrett Wilson. I hadn't been that high on him this year, and it's not really because of him. It's the Zach Wilson aspect of things. But you're talking about a guy who runs sub 4.4 40s, 4.38, great college resume, was picked number 10 in the NFL draft, picked over, was he over Olave, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the Saints traded up, but I couldn't remember where they ended up. But yeah, I would go Garrett Wilson there. He's definitely got the physical talent, physical ability. He's fast as shit. It seems like Zach Wilson definitely likes him more than like Elijah Moore. I mean, he's done, and I stayed put with Elijah Moore as long as I could. I was like, Elijah Moore. He's going to produce, but I think it's Garrett Wilson time now. So, and Elijah Moore might not even be there next year. So yeah. I would have definitely gone with that over the other receivers after that.
Chris, you got anything
what do
to
you
say
think about it, Chris?
No, I definitely agree. Even though what I had said earlier about my doubts on Zach Wilson, at this point, I would definitely take Garrett Wilson over Drake London. Like you said, the Atlanta offense is run, play action, punt. Is what is what it is. I mean, that's just how it goes right now. They need a better quarterback that is utilizing Kyle Pitts, Drake London out there. Marcus, he's playing good. I mean, he's having a decent season.
He's fine. He's a fine quarterback.
He's this dude's not terrible. I mean, he's
Yeah,
not going out. I mean, Zach Wilson is literally out here looking like a fool sometimes, and they're winning games, dude. They're like both New York teams. Who would have thought that both New York teams would be good this year? Like, I mean, it just doesn't make no
man.
sense. But I
Chris,
definitely agree. Garrett Wilson, man. Elijah Moore, that dude is just a practice dummy out there on the field. They don't even look at him. I swear that
yeah,
they just hate that man at this point. They just don't. And I think he's gone. I do think he's gone after the end of the year. So
yeah,
Garrett Wilson, he's going to get the targets. He ain't even got nobody else to contend with on there. So yeah,
man.
I definitely agree with that.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I ain't buying into these New York teams being good. That
I'm not,
whatever. I mean,
I'm not either.
I say it every
I'm
week
just
about the
going.
Giants. I'm
I'm just
like,
going on off the records right now. Like I still don't see it neither because I'll be looking at them. I mean, Zach Wilson, man, that game the other day, what 2 weeks ago that he threw. I was like, he's playing like this. They're 7-2 or 7-3. I was like, oh my god.
I,
Dude, talking about mud butt, man. I hadn't seen nothing in quarter century. I ain't seen New York teams be good in 4 score, man. It's been a long fucking time since since New York team's been good at football.
Got David in the group chat talking shit about his NFL team, and I'm like, man, fuck you, man. The Giants suck.
y'all are. That's what I'm saying. He's like, we're back. I'm like, man, y'all are trash, man. I don't know what the hell's happening in this league. This league's been crazy, man. All right,
Dude,
Chris, go ahead,
they are
Kraft.
barely favored over the Texans this week by
I
like
know. I saw
they're like 7-6-2 or
The
something, and the
Texans just had
Texans
that
like
good
one
game with the
and
Eagles. They kept the
they're
Eagles
favored by
pretty
like 3
close.
points or some shit over the Texans this week.
Yeah, I saw that. I chose to stay away from that game, but I almost put some money on it. But Chris at the 107,
I'm
what you
with
think?
Garrett Wilson off the board. I'm definitely going London, Drake London.
Whew.
Even with my doubts, you
Yeah,
know. After that, with Garrett Wilson off, I mean that forces my hand. George Pickens is already off the board.
yeah,
Drake London. Drake London is definitely wide receiver one in Atlanta.
yeah,
Assuming they do get the quarterback situation figured out or they change up their offense. Uh Drake London's going I think he's gonna be good. Definitely not at the 106 or the 107. You ain't worried about taking it. You get him there at the
yeah,
beginning of the year, you would have been fucking ecstatic that you got Drake London at that late. Because he went at the 102 in our draft.
yeah. I'm gonna just kind of before Kraft goes. I'm with you. Kill he picked at the 2 and the 3 spot, so I just kind of
Yeah.
say Kenneth. If he had the 2 and didn't have the 3, he for sure would have went Kenneth Walker. I would imagine. I would hope.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would
I
hope,
don't
but I
know.
don't know. But yeah, listen, Drake London, I'm with you. It's like I've said it already. I would have took him at the 103 before the beginning of the season. But it just comes down to it. It's just like, what are the Falcons about to do? Like, what are we about to do? I watch the Falcons every week. I think Drake London's as good as any of these guys out there. I think Drake London's good. I was surprised we took him in the draft. I thought we was going to go Garrett Wilson. I like Drake London though. Big bodied guy, but it's just like, what are you going? I mean, I feel like he just has as many questions with the Falcons. And listen, I ain't even gonna hate on the Falcons draft class the past couple of years. Like they've kind of went the direction that I kind of wanted them to go. It does kind of piss me off that they keep going these skill positions in the top of the first round and stuff like that. Like, why? Why are you going to draft Kyle Pitts at
I'm
the
kind of bummed that
third
y'all got rid of
pick?
Calvin Ridley. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Next year coming in, y'all would have had Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Calvin Ridley
I'm just gonna be real,
out
Chris.
there.
I'm glad we got rid of Calvin Ridley. He sat
Hey,
out that half of the year, talk about mental
what
health
I no,
issues.
I now getting into that, I definitely agree with you on that, man. Get out there and fucking play
I
on
know,
that
man.
bullshit. But
Come
like
work
I'm
it
talking
down.
like as a receiver, talent wise, man. If y'all have Calvin Ridley next year, y'all just oh my god.
Man,
And
Chris,
if y'all don't throw the ball, y'all probably still run the ball 30 times.
I'm
Y'all have
telling you
these
now,
receivers.
man. That dude talk about mental health issues. Like, come work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and then
I
let's talk
remember
about some
Zamil
mental
said that
health
he was like
issues.
missing a ball or something like that. I was like, where are you getting this information from? It's like
Yeah.
missing a nut or something, like his left nut.
Oh,
The fuck does that have to do with anything? Get out there
Kraft,
and play.
you got anything to say about Drake London? Like, I'm a Falcons fan, so I said all I got to say. I like Drake London, but it is what it is. Kraft?
Should make you faster if you're running without a ball. I mean, that's the way I look at it. He had ball. He definitely had balls when he was betting on them games in the sport that he played for.
Exactly.
I saw
But
that he posted a tweet after he got caught doing that, and he said something like "bet 1,800 that I definitely didn't bet on that game" or some shit, and he like deleted it like shortly after.
oh man.
Well,
But yeah, with Drake London, all the guys we're talking about are ultra talented, and out of all the receivers, I think he's the most talented out of the ones we talked about. But situation matters.
it
Doesn't matter.
matters. It
Yeah, it definitely
matters, man.
matters.
Listen, and I get it. Age and talent. Listen, I'll put it like this: before I go into next season, I will account age and talent more than I would have. But the situation, it matters, man. I'm telling you. Kraft at the 10, whatchamacallit,
Hey,
108. What would you do then?
shit. This one was tough, man. I was thinking, should I go? Is this gonna be super flex or no?
Nah, we'll just say no, but even if, well, heck, we'll go ahead and go, and we'll ask a Kenny Pickett question later on. But
Oh shit. This one's hard, man. Looking around. I think I'm gonna go with the uncertainty right here, and I'm gonna go with Jameson Williams.
yeah, I'd have done the same.
That's where I'm at, and there really ain't nothing to say about him. To me, he was the best receiver coming in this last year's draft. I think he would have gone before anybody if he wouldn't have torn his ACL. So,
Yeah,
and might be a bad pick because we hadn't seen him play, but it's not like any of these guys that we're talking about have just pulled a Jamar Chase this year or nothing.
yeah,
So,
Right.
I mean, I'm just gonna. The offense isn't that bad in Detroit. I don't know how long Goff is going to be there, but you know, um, he's one of them receivers that can play close to the line of scrimmage. He kind of reminds me of like Waddle or somebody. He's about that same height, speed, stuff like that. So you can play him short to the line of scrimmage, like in the slot, but he can take the top off the defense too. So I think he'll fit in with the offense, whether they have a bad quarterback or a
yeah.
stud back there. So
Look, man, I'm with you on that. Jameson Williams, man, he was definitely balling out with Alabama. Alabama, in my opinion, really, I know they went to a national championship, but they've really kind of been down these past couple of years, especially this year. You're seeing it, but it's really on the defensive side of the ball. Jameson Williams, even John Mechie we'll say a little something about him later on, but those guys were good. And Jameson Williams, I know there was some talk about Jameson Williams, like, he was at Ohio State and he couldn't even get on the field, yada yada yada. Like that kind of talk right there doesn't even bother me at all. It's like I don't give a damn about. Like I get it that okay he couldn't get on the field, but I mean they're stacked at wide receiver. That don't mean he ain't as good or better than these guys. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, Kraft, I would have went the same way with you. I was hoping you wasn't gonna pick him because now I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my next pick. But yep. Chris, you got anything to say about the Bama wide
No.
receiver?
I definitely would go with that. I mean, and I also think that going into next year with that Lions offense, I mean, they're gonna have Amon Ra and Jameson Williams. I mean, they're gonna have two different wide receivers that, like Kraft was saying, yeah, you can run Jameson Williams out the slot, but you can run Amon Ra. I mean, you're gonna be able to place these two guys anywhere on that offensive side and do something. And I think that Amon Ra may be your yak playmaker, your yards after catch. He's going to get out there and do that. But I think Jameson Williams is going to be the one to go up and get these 50-50 balls where he's just going to be snagging them. He's going to be the end zone target, I feel like, especially because, I mean, we all know, we've seen it. The Detroit Lions end up on the 1 yard line every game. So somebody's, if it ain't Williams running it in, I think for Jamal Williams, Jameson Williams may be getting the touchdown pass thrown to him. But I definitely agree with that. I just don't see anybody else that you could probably argue to not take Jameson Williams right there with the
yeah,
uncertainty.
yeah. I'm looking at talking about Williams. I'm looking at Goff's contract right here, and it says that Goff is under contract through the 2024 season. So, I guess that's probably good news for for Jameson. I think Goff's a competent quarterback, throw the ball too. But he's a stud, and he might end up being the best receiver that was taken in the draft. We just ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, fellas. Yep, I'm with y'all. I think now we starting to get in a little bit of murky water. Where am I? The 109? Is that what I'm at?
109.
Okay,
It shows you there are
109.
only 8 good picks in most rookie drafts.
Yeah, I do think next year may be a little deeper. We'll just have to see, man. I really ain't even broke it down yet. I'm just gonna have to see myself. But at the 109, and this is where it gets a little tricky. Like in the first round of our end of our draft, like Christian Watson was up there, James Cook. We ain't even talked about Traylon Burks yet. We ain't even threw his name on out there.
That's your
Sky
pick.
Moore, Jahan Dotson. Listen, I guess I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say Traylon Burks, but I don't feel good about it because I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I don't know what to think about Tennessee. I think Tennessee's got a good head coach. I think Vrabel's a good coach, and they played that close game with Kansas City just last week. It's like that's good coaching right there. They was out there with Malik Willis and stuff like that. But I'm gonna say Traylon Burks, and if you would have told me I get before this rookie draft, you would have said I got him at the 109, I'd be like, whoo, Traylon Burks at the 109. He could do a lot of things, Arkansas, when he played at Arkansas, he was, catching short passes and go. He can go deep. He was almost like a gadget guy, getting manufactured touches and stuff like that. But he's big too. Um, Tennessee's just gonna have to, manufacture touches for this guy. I believe they will. They traded AJ Brown for this guy, which was a super clown move, in my opinion. You should have got way more for AJ Brown than just one first round pick, one rookie. That joke is insane. I mean, think about what Kansas City got for Tyreek Hill and all that and stuff like that. But it's like you just traded AJ Brown and you bring in Traylon Burks. I think a lot of the reason why I'm down on Traylon Burks too is like we just hadn't seen him that much this year. But I just think his situation is just I'm just not really. I don't know, man. I don't know about Tennessee. What you think, Chris?
I'm in the same kind of way, and I'm actually glad you took Traylon Burks. My next pick, I definitely know what I'm picking next after this one, but Traylon Burks, he ain't played, man. I need to
Yeah,
see him out there playing. He's a big guy. He's 6'2", 225. I
yeah,
mean, he can burn you as well as, you know, power you over. I
yeah,
just need to see this guy get out and play. But even if he is playing every snap, I mean, the Tennessee Titans, they got Derrick Henry back there. Their goal is to run the ball 30 times a game.
yeah.
Uh, just got to see it. I just want to see him play. That's where I stand on him at this point.
Kraft.
Yeah, he's about to be back. I don't know if it's this week or next week, but he did get activated off the R, so we're going to get to see him. Hopefully for the rest.
I was trying to buy low from David today.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I'm with you. Definitely a buy low guy, especially in the dynasty wise. I'm surprised, if I'm David, I wouldn't give it up. But yeah, I'm with you. Definitely go out there and get them guys like that. Hey, go get Sky Moore while you at it if you can. But for the low, don't pay
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for him.
yeah.
Don't pay up. But yeah, Kraft, say what you gotta say about Trey Line.
I think I still think he's a supreme athlete. He probably just needs a little bit of time to get going. I mean, we just talked about Jameson and Traylon. He was only out there for about 5 games, and with the Titans who don't really throw the ball, or they were kind of easing him in. His snap count was going up every week before he got hurt. So, I think they were just trying to get him involved, and he still might be a big second half player this year. So I'd have done that pick right there too. I ain't gave up on him yet.
Yeah, can't give up on him because of the talent, but you know, situation, not playing, it matters. All right, Chris. We done went through 9 picks. We at the 110. Go ahead and we getting down to the murky burky. Let's get a little muddy down here.
For me, at the 110, I'm taking a guy. He's only played 4 games this season. But the 4 games that he played this season, He was the end zone target. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year. If you pick this dude in our league, he went like the second round, second pick. I'm taking Dotson at the 110.
There you go.
I'm taking Jahan Dotson at the 110. Um, I'm just from the way that he was playing, he was getting yards. I mean, if you're picking a rookie that late, like I'm looking at it right now, he had more than 5 targets in every game that he's played, but one. The receptions they're not all there, but the scoring and the touchdown and the yards, they were there. And for the last pick in the first round, or a few, 2 picks out from the last pick and a 12 man, I think that he's giving you value out there. The Commanders,
Yeah.
they throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
They find themselves behind. I mean, they got Curtis Samuel and Scary Terry there, but I mean, they still find themselves behind. And even with Scary Terry and Curtis Samuel there, he was still producing. I just want to see him get healthy and get back out there. He's supposed to play this week, so I'll have to see, monitor how that goes, and see if I made the right decision picking him right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. What do you think about it, Matt?
Yeah, look, I like honestly, I like Jahan Dotson, and he well, it's like Chris said, this dude was producing in a wide receiver room that was pretty crowded because Curtis Samuel, he came back, they were giving him touches and looks, and he had a little nice little 2 game start. Jahan Dotson, I would say the only thing that would even really, I would say the reason why we don't talk about Jahan Dotson as much is because he's with Washington. I mean, I know he's been hurt this year and he sat out some games, but like from a dynasty rookie standpoint, I talk about, it's like Chris, I talk about Akil's team all the time. He's rebuilding, so I like to clown him, so he's in last place, but he's definitely hit on a couple of these picks, and I think Jahan Dotson might be one of them.
Been trying to get Jahan from him for a minute.
He offered me Jahan Dotson and a 24 second for Hollywood Brown. I said, get that shit out of here, man. I like Jahan Dotson, but I was like,
I
stop.
see. Now he was one of the players I was trying to get in that move where I got Schultz, where I traded in Claypool for Schultz, which
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going to be good with that trade. Like I'm just tired of not having to decide on whether to play Chase Claypool or leave him on the bench. Now I ain't got to worry about it. Don't even give me that temptation to play that motherfucker. Just throw that Dalton Schultz in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Jahan Dotson, he's good out of Penn State. He looked, I thought he was good when he was coming out. So, Kraft, what you got to say about Dotson?
Shoot, he was probably the highest scoring rookie through the first 4 weeks. I mean, full PPR, 18, 17.9, 3, and then 13 points. And the snap counts, he had one game, he had 99% snap percentage. And the rest were right around 90%, 88, 87. So the targets weren't really there, but the touchdowns were. And sometimes touchdowns aren't, you can't really predict them. They're really unpredictable, but some guys just score a lot of them, and he might be one of them guys. And they were all on like deep targets, so he might just be that guy for the Commanders. And if he's just going to keep getting better, and he started off really hot, so I like the pick there. I'm glad he didn't take my guy though.
Yeah, go with it, Kraft.
All right, I'm gonna get me a running back here. This guy is 5'10", 216 pounds. And he runs a 4.37 40. Plays for one of the best teams in the NFL. Who y'all think it is?
Isaiah Pacheco.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep, I hear you.
Oh, Clyde, he's on the 3rd year of his 4-year rookie deal.
Oh.
His ass is gone. Ass is gone. Out of all the folks in our podcast, I mean, I don't hate's a strong word, but I probably am the one who dislikes Clyde the most out of all of us as far as the talent goes. And Andy Reid's going to put the best player on the field eventually. It might be this year. It might be the next game. I don't know. It might be week 10, week 11 of this year. But out of all the players I was looking at, I think he has the most promise of, especially all the rookies left. There's still some good rookies out there, rookie running backs that hadn't really got a lot of play this year. But as far as what I've seen on the field, he looks extremely talented and plays for the best offense in the league, one of the best. So
Yeah.
I'll take my chances with Pacheco.
Look, man, I'm with you, man. This offense is definitely a good offense. So, you know, when Clyde was coming out, you was like, dang, this dude's on this offense. You're like, dang, I'm getting this running back, this offense. I think we're saying the same about Pacheco. We're like, I did see a stat though. Ever since they've kind of named him the starter in quotation marks, he's been getting way less work than at first. But I mean, like Pacheco, like we're getting down here in these other rounds. Like Pacheco might be an end of the hat. You know, he might do better at the end of the year. Next year, I would definitely be loving me some Pacheco. So, you know,
Buy
Chris,
low now. I think you
yeah,
should buy low now, like before Sunday, because I really do think that this Sunday might be the week.
yeah. So yeah, Chris, what you say?
I'm with it. Pacheco, I mean, right now, I do think Clyde's gonna be gone. Like Clyde was saying, he's coming into that last year, that rookie deal. He ain't been living up to it. He lived up to it fantasy wise for the first few games, but a lot of people was like, okay, they notice, hey, that was kind of fraudulent right there. He was just benefiting from that offense. Isaiah Pacheco looks so much better than him every time he gets a touch. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, I mean, he runs less than a 4.4 and he can run your ass straight over while
Yeah,
he's doing it. Um, I'm looking to see Clyde get gone because, I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the only 23, he's a young guy,
yeah,
but you're talking about the Chiefs drafted this dude, Isaiah Pacheco, in the 7th round, and
yeah.
he's outperforming your so-called stud running back that you picked up. What was he was a first rounder, wasn't he?
He was at the end of the
Was it?
first round, I
Yeah,
believe.
he was. I believe Clyde was. He was either the end of first or early second. And man, talk about reaching in the draft, and they found this dude. If Clyde gets gone, I mean, I definitely think I would definitely draft him at this position. But long term wise, I mean, definitely hold on to it because as soon as Clyde's gone, there's no competition back there. They got Jarrett McKinnon, but I mean, Jarrett McKinnon's getting older. He's a good back, good change of pace back. But Isaiah Pacheco, young guy, he's gonna get to work.
Yeah, crap. I think we're in agreement. You got anything else to say about your pick?
Not really. I just feel like I said, Andrew Reid's going to end up putting the best player on the field eventually.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, look, man. All right. So I'm at the 112. Is that right? 112, fellas.
Yep, 112.
So that's basically we've done a whole first round for these people. So at the last pick of the first round, I don't know how far y'all wanted to go. I was thinking maybe we could do this first round, then just start talking about different rookies, just bring them up, or we can keep mocking it. However y'all want to do it, it don't even matter. But at the 112, and I know we're getting down here into some crazy. We get down here into an area that's just like I don't know. But I'm gonna take old Pacheco's teammate. I'm gonna take Sky Moore, and this is more of like a dynasty pick right here. I'm not sitting here. I don't even think Sky Moore. I think he might show up in the playoffs maybe, but I'm not gonna sit here and be banking on that. I mean, fantasy's over at that point. But I'm saying next year, man, Juju, he's gonna be out of there. Juju ain't gonna be here. Scantling, I know they just signed him. This dude's not good. This team's gonna be more of like a. I think we're gonna see a little bit of Miko, but I think and even Miko, boop, we're gonna be. He might be getting on out of here. Sky Moore, they're a little. I don't know where they picked him at. I wanted to say the second round. Sky Moore is good. I've watched a little bit of his tape. This is more like a situation thing right here, more than a Sky Moore being so good type shit like this. This is more of this dude sitting here with Andy Reid. This dude's making players look good all the time. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. So you're telling me you get this guy, Sky Moore, in a situation like that? You know, I can't really complain with anything like that. What you say, Kraft?
Shoot, I think we can definitely make it through another round because I feel like there's still a lot of good little players out here. Maybe
Yeah, I'm
not
down.
for this year, but for Dynasty. But yeah, Sky Moore, they got Kadarius Toney. Does that scare you at all?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. I think they kind of like Kadarius Toney. I think Kadarius Toney. Listen, as much as me and you have talked shit about him, the dude has talent. The dude's a good. He's definitely coming out of Florida. He went high in the draft for a reason.
Yeah.
I think this team's going to be more kind of like that. I think this team's going to be kind of like Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. Scantling will still be around for a couple more years, but like Juju, like I mean, what are they about to do with Juju? I don't think they're bringing him back next year. I mean, Miko Hardman, as much as I like him, I think he's improved this year. Borderline flex, he's a flex play as far as I'm concerned right now. Uh, I don't know how
Yeah.
long Miko's going to be there. To me, the future of this team, I think the Kansas City wants it to be right now. Wants it to be Pacheco, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. That's how I see it. But what you think?
Yeah. Miko's 20. He's 24, so this should be his last year on his rookie deal or third year. I can't remember when he came out at Georgia, but 24 years old. He's at least on his third year. So I think Miko will be the one gone. Juju signed a 1-year deal based on incentives, pretty much. I think he had like a $3 million base salary or something, but he had a shit ton of incentives.
And he just hit those incentives.
Yeah, I think Juju should be back. I don't really see. I mean, unless somebody offers Juju a big contract, he probably just want to come back to a great team. But Kadarius Toney's there for a while. Scantlin signed a 3-year deal. Yeah. But what we're looking at here, I think Sky Moore is a good pick because, I mean, we're just speculating right now who will be there next year. And shit, they, like you said, 2 or 3 of them might be gone. He might be sitting as their main slot receiver going into next year. And that's what he is, though. That is Sky Moore, though. That's the one thing. One thing about Sky Moore is he is, if you get him, in your dynasty drafts or you expect massive things out of him, he's just a slot guy. That's
Yeah.
it.
And look, and I ain't hating on the slot guy. I'll take slot guys all day. That's one reason why I liked CeeDee Lamb. He was running in the slot a lot. Stuff like that. I like guys that run in the slot. They're easy targets for these guys. So, I mean, Tom Brady threw the hell of slot guys throughout his career and stuff.
Made them very rich people too.
Yeah.
Making them look good.
Made people act like they some Hall of Fame players. People think Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. So I mean,
he's pretty badass, man.
I guess. I mean, what?
He's pretty badass, man.
I mean, he's a
it takes
good
a lot
player.
of it takes a lot of guts to be taking them hits on a weekly basis.
Agreed.
Over the middle like that.
You're gonna be getting calls from people in Boston. What'd
I
you
mean,
say?
hey, I would love some calls from Boston. If y'all would hit me up, hate on me. I think Edelman's good, but a Hall of Famer, you can miss me with that shit. That shit's crazy, man. Tom toted that dude. Wes Welker's a good one. That dude did nothing with anybody else. But he did okay with old Peyton Manning though for a little while.
Yeah.
And
Amendola was there for a minute too.
Yeah. Chris Hogan came off the lacrosse field, played little wide receiver. So yeah,
he wasn't a slot guy though. He wasn't a slot guy.
All these crackers out there that the Patriots was throwing out there, that's what cracks me up. That's what I'm saying, man. This dude Tom Brady got to be the GOAT. He's throwing the dudes that look like me and Kraft out there. So, but yeah, man, I'm with you. Well, hell, it was my pick. I'm with me, Sky Moore. It's more of like a situation thing. And listen, and I know we're going to keep going on, and maybe he'll get picked later on, but I'm not even like a total disbeliever in guys like Christian Watson. Like he went to the Green Bay Packers. Like he ain't like he's in. I don't know. It ain't like he's in.
Don't be talking about my pick. Don't be talking about my pick.
All right, yeah. Go to the next one, Chris. One. No, this would be like a 201 right here. We talk about second round. Chris, do you even have anybody on your mind? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, I'm going Christian Watson just because on the situation he's going to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Man, what a thief!
Yeah, but I'm with you on that.
That ain't where I was going though.
This wide receiver core in Green Bay, it's not figured out. Lazard's has some injury. Dubes is getting hurt. Sammy Watkins, I mean, he has been done. I just don't know why people keep giving him chances. Christian Watson, man, I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to step up in this Green Bay offense. Or I don't
Yeah.
know what's going to happen. It's going to be completely blown the fuck up after this. I don't know what's going on over there. I was hoping to see some splash in the trades. But I'm seeing that they're in the running to get Odell. I mean, I wouldn't even really be. That doesn't excite me that much, honestly. Um, but yeah, I got to see him get on the field. I got to see the Packers doing what they do, throw the football.
Yeah. Shoot, the reason he got drafted was because of his combine. He played at North Dakota State. He, ran all over them little high schoolers out there. So
Yeah,
obviously he
he's
looked
a big
great.
guy, 6'5".
But yeah, 6'4", 208, and ran a 4.36. That man is fast. He can blaze, but I mean, it takes a lot to translate into NFL wide receiver. You can't just have the physical ability. And you know,
Yeah.
I hadn't seen enough of him yet, but I think he could be very good, or he's along them lines where he could be great, or he could be just a total bust.
Yeah, look, Christian Watson, he pretty much gained a lot of stock in his draft. This dude was balling out at the Senior Bowl, from what I hear. This dude was going off on these dudes. Or yeah, it is the Senior Bowl that everybody. Yeah, he was going off on these guys. People really didn't even know too much about him. But the thing is, I know he was at North Dakota State or whatever, and they run the ball a lot up there. So it was like, how good could this guy possibly be? So I think he surprised some people with his talent. The only thing I think of when I think of Christian Watson, I like Christian Watson now. Uh, Man, he was like on the very first play of the game versus the Vikings, the dude was deep and wide open and just dropped that wide open pass. I know you know what I'm talking about, Crab.
Uh-huh.
I can't even
I
get
know
that out of
exactly.
my mind. I was like, dang, his rookie year could have started off way different, man. Instead, he just dropped it, man. He was wide open, man. But listen, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on him. I mean, dang, you're a rookie. You're playing at North Dakota State. Now you're opening up the season in Minnesota with the crowd. Yeah, I mean, packed dome and everything.
Aaron
You play.
Rodgers throwing you the football, you know.
So
Jeez.
it's like I understand it. Like I get it. The pressure can be tough, but it's like I like Christian Watson. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on him. He went in the first round of our rookie draft. He went in the first round of a lot of rookie drafts. Playing with
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. The only question I have is
Rodgers.
Rodgers. Yeah, that's the only question. Like, I think Rodgers might be sick of this shit. So I don't know, man.
It definitely was seeming like it last game that he was
Yeah.
just getting tired of it.
If you can't score on Detroit, I mean, holy shit.
I like it, man. I still like it. Like, I mean, people judge him for being all pissy all the time, but at least he's fucking pissy all the time. You know
Shout
what I'm
out to
saying?
David. David called him a big jerk.
I mean, if he was just out there just throwing picks and just willy nilly walking off the field, not saying anything or whatever, like at least he's being competitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely with that.
Like, he could be Jake Cutler. Like, oh, well,
Oh my
another
god.
pick.
Dude,
Another interception.
could go grab him a little Barbara Red on the sideline.
Jay Cutler,
Oh,
boy,
man.
golly.
Oh, well, threw another pick. Like, it's just like,
Bringing up Jay Cutler ran the most unathletic, the most uninspired, unathletic play of like in the NFL history. They ran like a wildcat and put him out there at the receiver, and he didn't even move when the ball was snapped. He just stood there. I thought that shit was so funny, man. I was
Man,
like,
Jake.
you put him out there, man. He probably done smoked the whole carton of goddamn Marlboro Reds before he went out there.
Shout out to Jay Cutler. Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm with you, Kraft. At least he's out there getting mad. I'm with you. I mean, I ain't ever really mind that stuff. That stuff like what you said, Chris, about he's a big jerk. Like
He's a jerk.
Sit your ass down, David. Come on, man. The guy who defends Draymond Green on the reg, man. The dude's talking about Aaron Rodgers is a jerk. Shut your ass up, man. Oh Lord, man. Anyways, next pick, man. What you got for us, Kraft?
Oh shit! That done caught me off guard. Even though we've been talking for the last hour, I've had an hour to think about it. Fuck, man. Um, I really hadn't thought about. I really wasn't thinking about it at all. I had one that I thought about, but I had to look up. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Hadn't talked about Kenny Pickett much, but yeah, I'm with you. Listen, before you go and you talk about your own pick, I'll just jump in and just say what I gotta say.
I don't have much to say about him. He looks terrible right now. I mean, this is just fill me
listen,
a quarterback need, and he might be good. That's it for me.
I put it like this. To me, I just can't be a Kenny Pickett hater. And I know he spent college, spent 6 years at college. To me, that kind of stuff does not even like remotely turn me off, like at the quarterback position. Maybe at like the wide receiver, running back position for sure. But if you're a quarterback and you're 24, like, oh well, like you're getting reps. That's really what I care about the most. You could just be sitting down on the bench not doing shit. But I'm not gonna hate on him. I think the what really what you like about Kenny Pickett the most is this dude went to Pittsburgh. He's with a stable franchise. It ain't like the dude went to the damn Jets or, went to, I don't know, Detroit or something crazy like that. The dude went to Pittsburgh. And I think that's all. That's like the main argument I got. It's like the dude went to a stable franchise. There's like 6 or 7 franchises where you're like, if a dude goes there, you're like, you feel okay with. And Pittsburgh is definitely one of them. It ain't like he went to the motherfucking Falcons. This guy
There we
went.
That's
This
better.
guy went.
No.
This guy went to the Steelers. So
We
you
got
know,
to stop just like going back to anytime we just fill in blank here, we fill in bad team name and it's the Jets or some of we got to start going like at least he didn't go to the Buccaneers or the Packers or the
yeah,
Rams or the Panthers or something like that because the Jets are badass, man.
man, I ain't even gonna throw the Packers in that list though.
They're gonna be shit for a while. I'll promise you that they're gonna be shit for a while.
Well, shoot, I mean, Chris, you got anything to say about? I mean, I watch Kenny Pickett. I watch ACC football, so Kenny Pickett to me is a fine quarterback.
Yeah,
Just
man. I
because you're
mean,
good, yeah, but just because you're doing it in college, don't mean it's gonna work in the NFL. That's all I got to say. But at least you're with Pittsburgh.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Tomlinson, that franchise is buttoned up for the most part. But my issue with Trubisky going out there is that Trubisky's been in the league long enough to know the stuff that he's doing is just that's not what he needs to be doing. Kenny Pickett, this is his first season. He's a rookie. He's gonna go out. He's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna go out there and do that. He played in the ACC. He knows how to throw the ball. I promise you guys, he knows how to throw the ball.
Right.
It's Claypool gone. Tomlinson said that he's been working on that offense. I kind of like my stance on Trevor Lawrence last year. I just need to see time. I just need time to pass. I need to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything else to say about Kenny Pickett? But how about this? I had thought about the question before we started, but let's just say we was in a super flex league. Quarterbacks, they're like gold. I mean, how far are we taking Kenny Pickett up there? Like, I'm for sure not taking Kenny Pickett over the running backs. Probably a few wide receivers I'm not taking Kenny Pickett over. I would imagine Kenny Pickett goes higher in the Superflex rookie draft, though. So, Kraft, you got just off the top of your head, just
Well, I'm looking at our picks we made, and I'm putting him. See if y'all agree. I got him probably in between like Jamison Williams and Traylon Burks, about that range. Wouldn't you think? Or maybe
Yeah, I can
before
see that.
Jamison Williams, after Drake London.
I honestly I agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah,
about. I think that's about where he is. But the only thing worries me about Kenny Pickett is, you know, small hands, man. He needs 2 hands to drink that 16-ounce beer. He drinks it like this. He grabs it with both hands. He can't. It'd be slipping out of his hands when he tries to throw
man.
it up.
Kraft, I don't know if you remember back in the day, Burger King used to put out them little double cheeseburger commercials for that when double cheeseburgers were used to be $1. They used to have them big double cheeseburgers. They was like, but I got to go get a McDonald's double cheeseburger because my hands are small, so I can't get it.
That's Kenny Pickett.
That's Kenny Pickett. I don't know if people remember that commercial, but that shit used to crack me up. But that's what I think about when I think of Kenny Pickett. He can't go get a Burger King double cheeseburger. He's got to go get a McDonald's one. So, but yeah, all right, shoot, man. We on to my pick, and we at the 203. We done made it into the second round, and listen, we're at slim pickings right here. So I feel like if we're gonna be doing some more picks, we're gonna be kind of reaching. I'm gonna go with Rashad White. And I like Rachaad White, especially from a talent perspective. And now that Tom Brady's divorced, I'm thinking this Joker might be around 2, 3 more. I will put it like this: I thought for sure Tom Brady this was going to be his last year. I can't say that right now. I I think Tom Brady might be back next year. Now I don't know if he'll be back with Tampa Bay, but even regardless of the Tom Brady situation, Rachaad White, I think really he's as talented as any of these running backs, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. I would put Rachaad White probably like running back wise. I don't know how off the top of my head what running backs are out there, but I would put him behind Damian Pierce. I would probably take him fourth. I don't know. There's probably some running back I'm out there skipping on out on, but
Pacheco.
Pacheco, man, I'll put it like this: from a talent perspective, I like Rachaad White, but I don't know about what his situation goes. I think I've been look, crap. We talk about it all year. Every time we talk about Tampa Bay when we're going through these games, I say Rachaad White is a stash play. I would stash him
Every time.
every time I say that. So I like me some Rachaad White. From Dynasty, I'm definitely liking me some Rachaad White. Even if Tom Brady ain't there, I think he could have success. You know, running backs have success. They don't need good quarterbacks all the time. Look at Damian Pierce. He's playing with Davis Mills out there. So, Rachaad White, Chris, what you think about it?
I mean, yeah, I'm with it. Leonard Fournette. I mean, he's had some,
He's been
you know,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, you want to be straight up and honest with it. I mean, Leonard Fournette, I had you going definitely easily in the top 10 this
Yeah.
year, finishing that, maybe even top five. At some point for the one year. Uh, like you said, I mean, shit. Tom Brady might be there. I don't know. Tom Brady been looking kind of frustrated lately whenever he gets out there. Y'all know Tom Brady likes to go out there and throw fits whenever people mess up and shit. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's being competitive and all that. But no, I like Rachaad White from a standpoint, just athletic standpoint. He's a good player. He knows what he's doing out there. It's just, is he going to get the work?
Yeah. And Fournette signed a 2-year deal at the start of this year. So he got this year and the next year, or unless they trade him or something like that. But talk about Fournette, he's still the RB9 this year.
No.
But he's
Fantasy
only,
wise,
yeah, fantasy wise, he's only averaging 3.3 yards per carry, though.
he
I
ain't been
mean,
good in real
he's not
football.
good in real football.
No.
He's not good.
And a 2 year deal, that don't mean nothing to me. If you're in your last year of your contract next year, if this second year dude is better than you,
Yeah.
they're gonna play the second year dude. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I
that's just where
definitely
I
agree.
stand on Rachaad White. Fellas, I asked this before last round. We would have made it to a 203. We could keep mocking it, or we could just start talking about different guys that are out there. It's up to y'all, though.
Yeah, let's just hit it quick without any explanation. You want to do that?
All right, I'll
Just
go
finish. Just finish the second round. What are we at? The 2-0, the 4.
204 then. Go ahead,
Oh,
Chris.
Uh, Shoot, I'm gonna be reaching on this one, but for circumstances, I'm taking Wandale Robinson.
that's good.
Yeah, go ahead, Kraft 205.
I'll take Romeo Dubs 205.
All right, at the 206, I'm gonna take Tyler Algier.
Okay, I like it.
I'm gonna
20
take Alex Pierce.
Very nice. I'm gonna
208.
go. Ooh, right here. Damn, Dolchich. First
Gotcha.
tight end off the board.
All right, at 209, I'm gonna take John Mechie. Even with the leukemia thing, I think he was good. I don't even need an explanation. 210, correct, Chris.
I'm gonna take Brian Robinson.
Very nice. 211. I'm gonna have to go with. Shit, I'm looking. We'll see if Isaiah Spiller can become a thing.
All right, at the 212, I would take David Bell. Deshaun Watson coming back. Purdue guy. I liked him. But yeah, look, man, before we even, I feel like we kind of wrapping this episode out. I want to say look out for guys like Zamir White, Josh Jacobs. He's not coming back to Las Vegas. They've made it clear. They didn't pick up his fifth year. I think Josh Jacobs is going to go out and get paid somewhere else. There's Abdullah.
And I know they're shooting themselves in the foot for that after what he's
Yeah,
done for them this year.
clearly,
Yeah.
clearly a bad decision. I think we can all agree on that. Because you're not going to pay him after not picking up your fifth year. You could have had him cheaper than what you're going to have to get him for now. It's just going to go out there and grab him a bag. So Zamir White, there's definitely a path. I took him in the third round knowing that. So uh, y'all got any other? I got one more I can talk about real quick. Not
I bet you I got the one you're talking about.
Go for it.
Is it Tyquan Thornton?
Nah, man, that's all you.
Okay. All right. That's all. That's all I got.
Tyquan Thornton,
receiver for the Patriots. You know, he's been on the field a decent bit in his first year. I feel like they're trying to get him involved and manufacture touches for him. He's playing last 3 weeks, 85% of snaps, 78, 67. So, you know, hey, there's a pathway where he can. He's a speedy dude. He's probably I don't know exactly, but I think he was the fastest receiver drafted.
Chris, off the top of your head, you got anybody?
Yeah, so I want to ask y'all though. I mean, like Kenny Pick is obviously the first quarterback off the board, though, right? We agree with that.
Agree.
Who's the next quarterback for y'all? Because for me, it's Malik Willis.
Gotta be.
Just from what I've seen. I mean, he's a big dude out there running. I mean, like when I watch him play, I mean, 6'1", 219. He's not as big as Cam Newton, but I mean, he was out there running like Cam Newton.
Yeah,
I like that too.
The rushing upside. Yeah, I'm with you. Superflex definitely got to be.
Got to respect it with Derrick Henry. I mean, you could run that read option, the RPO. You can do all kind of shit with him back there. Just got to see him get in there, see what they can let him do.
Real quick.
Situation too, for sure.
Another guy, he went undrafted in our league, but Keontae Ingram is running back with Arizona. I heard before this year, I told y'all, I was saying, hey, this dude's sleeping. I heard he was the most talented running back on that squad anyways. So Keontae Ingram out of Texas, I say look out for him maybe next year. And, especially to pass Eno Benjamin, who I like Eno Benjamin, but Keontae Ingram was playing when James Conner went out. I ain't ever really been sold on James Conner as a long-term prospect. So,
very injury ridden.
Yeah. So, anybody? What else?
I got a deep dart throw.
Go ahead.
He's playing for the Kansas City from wide receiver U, Justin Ross. He might be able to come back and play. That's just that's as deep dart throw as you probably can get. But if anybody can produce, I mean, if anybody can make Justin Ross look better than he did,
real quick,
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Chris, real quick, why you say that? After his freshman year, this dude in Mel's Copper's way too early big board draft. This dude was a top 10 guy. Yeah. This dude doesn't have that neck and spinal cord injury. Man, shout out to Justin Ross, man. I hate that for him, man.
I do hate
especially
that
those Clemson fans. Kraft, what you got?
Oh, but go back to Tyquan Thornton. He did run a 4.28, so he's fast as shit. But one guy we hadn't talked about, James Cook, pass catching extraordinaire. They did sign Naeem Hines this year, but he got a future with the Bills for sure. Yeah,
I agree. One more real quick. Trey McBride, tight end out of Arizona. He was the best pass catching tight end out of this draft. I know Dolchik and them look good, but Trey McBride, if Zach Ertz I know they just signed him, but he's always been a little banged up. Be on the lookout for Trey McBride.
Who was the other tight end? It was Bellinger, wasn't it? And he just got injured for the season. Was it Daniel Bellinger?
I didn't know Bellinger got hurt, but he's good.
Yeah, but he got his eye poked out by that dart throw that he had for Justin Ross last time.
Right. All right, well.
I got one more.
One more. Go with it, Kraft.
6'7", 253-pound tight end, Jelani Woods. Yeah. Mo Alley Cox ain't going to be there long.
Right.
I don't feel like so. He might be there. He's a beast. I mean, he's a big dude, and he can run. So, and he doesn't have much competition in front of him at all. So I would,
they got a brand new head coach over there too, man. Jeff Saturday coming in
for now.
For now. I mean,
yeah. Well, look, man, peace. We wrapped up this 22 class about as good as a wrap-up as you even going to hear. Mid-season, we're probably not going to be talking about these guys as much from here on out. This might be the last time we really get in talking about these guys. Maybe at the end of the year, if being Kraft, man, hop on, we need a topic to talk about. we'll talk about these rookies. But yeah, man, that was a good episode. Yeah, man, we dove deep in the woods talking about these guys. So yep. Be on the lookout. Hopefully, I'm gonna be talking about this 2023 class. I'm gonna try to get my cousin TODD up on. I don't know if he's even listening. I don't even know if he listens. I know he's heard a couple episodes, but I would like to try to break him on. If not, expect me and the Craft Man to be talking about these guys a lot at the end of the year, especially right after the season. So, but hey, Craft Man, you got anything to say to the people real quick?
And I just want to, say happy Veterans Day to everybody, and I appreciate all the soldiers out there that served. And,
hey, man,
I can't thank y'all enough. It's a huge holiday for me. I put this at the top of the list. So appreciate y'all and appreciate everybody for listening.
Chris, anything to say to the people?
Same way. Appreciate the veterans, man. Shout out Bud Williamson. Served in Vietnam. My grandfather, my uncle, served in Bosnia. Appreciate you for your service.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Yeah, man. But listen, man. Thanks for listening to the podcast. 5-star review. We fucking demand it. Add the podcast though. We don't even care, man. Just add the podcast. This is for your casual fans and the people who are deep in it like we are. So, thanks for listening. We out.
Peace.